welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, thank you so much for subscribing, and if you haven't been here before, please like and subscribe so you can grow the channel. Alright, so today I'm going to share with you a really popular dish in Trinidad. It's pepper roti. So stay tuned and see how I make my pepper roti. Okay, so to begin, I have a bowl here with some all-purpose flour. So this dough that I'm going to make is basically a buttershot or paratha dough. I have this recipe in detail on my channel, so I can link that in the description so you can see the detailed recipe for this. But this is pretty much how I make my buttershot. I added the brown sugar to the flour, and then I'm going to add in some baking powder. Once I add in the baking powder, a few teaspoons, I'm going to start mixing this up, and then I'm going to bring it together with some lukewarm water. So we don't want this flour to be too soft, and we also don't want it to be too hard. You just want it just right, like right in the middle. So you're going to just keep adding the water until you get that desired texture. The amount of water will vary. It depends on the climate you're in. You might need more water or less water. But I add some oil to clean up my bowl. So I added a little bit of vegetable oil, could be vegetable, canola, whatever oil you want to use, and I just brought that dough together. Once I'm done with the dough, I'm going to cover it and I'm going to start on my filling. So right now I'm cutting up some shadow beni or bandania and some scallions. Now I'm cutting this really fine, like finely chopped, because I don't want this to be too big in the filling. You can also put this in the food processor if it's easier. So this is some habanero peppers that I'm cutting up to add to that. And with the peppers, you have to be careful. You don't want to get it on your finger. Now, you see I'm not really touching the pepper to chop it up. So if that's the case, you can do it like that. But if, you know, you're worried about your hands getting burnt or something, you can always start burning. You can always wear gloves. Or as I said, put it in the food processor. So I just finely chopped all of these ingredients. See, I'm chopping it without touching it with my fingers because these pepper will burn. I decided to add a little more pepper because I wanted it to be like really spicy. So I decided to add another one without the seeds. You can add more or less peppers if that's your desire. So now I'm going to finish cutting up the rest of the peppers. I have some bell peppers and I also have some pimento peppers, so I'm cutting those up same way, finely chopped. So I'm just going to finish up cutting these, and then I'm going to move on to the other ingredients. So I had 3 potatoes that I peeled and I cut up really small, and I'm boiling it right now until soft. Once this gets soft, you're going to strain it off and mash it. So you can just stick a fork in it to see if it's soft. I forgot to mention that to the potatoes I added salt to the water. Before I boiled it, I put some salt in the water, and I just added the potatoes. So just so that the potato will have flavor all the way through, beside putting it afterward, it's better to boil it with the salt. So now I'm going to just mash these potatoes. See how nice and soft they are? Now some people do the potatoes raw. I boil it. I prefer to boil it. I like everything cooked, so yeah, but I boil it. I just think it's better when it's boiled. It just gives me that aloo pie feel that I love aloo pies, and I like how my pepper roti come out when it's when the potato is boiled. But you can do it raw if that's what you prefer, but this is my preference. This is just how I do it. So now that it's all mashed, I'm going to start adding in all these wonderful ingredients here on my board. So for all of these, right, I chopped the let me push it this way. I chopped up the shadow benny or cilantro, the bell peppers, the pimento peppers, and that's all I chopped up. Oh, and the scallion or chive. And then I grated the other ingredients. So I grated the garlic, I grated the onions, and I grated the carrots. So I don't really like big chunks of garlic and stuff, so I prefer to have it grated. So that's why I grated it like that. And carrots, of course, have to be grated. So, but the peppers and stuff, as I said, you can put it in the food processor. Same process. It will be the same thing, I think. Even if you put it in a chopper, or you can just use your mortar and pestle and grind it. So, whichever way works for you. So now I'm gonna add in all these stuff here. I'm gonna add in the careful touching of pepper. Add in the peppers, because they're basically the star of the dish. Hence this name, Pepper Roti. So I'm gonna just put these. Oh, I left the garlic. I have to grate that because you want everything to be nice and small. So put in the carrots. This is 1 carrot, but it's a large carrot, so I'm going to mix it in and see if I want to add more carrots. Ooh, this smells so good. Honestly, don't want to waste my carrots, so I added in some pink Himalayan salt, Himalayan pink salt. This is the taste, so I tasted it and I realized that it needed some more salt. So you can average, taste as you go. It's a little hot because of the raw pepper in there, so just taste a little. For some reason, I realized that once it's cooked, the pepper taste, the heat isn't that much, so I didn't have enough salt, so I'm adding some seasoned salt in there, and then I'm gonna add some geera or cumin and just mix all of that together. So now for the last ingredient, I'm gonna add some grated cheese to the mixture. I ended up using all the carrots because I really didn't want to waste my carrots, but when I put the recipe in the description, it will be less carrots. So the filling is all done. I'm going to set it aside and start working on my dough. So I'm separating my dough into 4. I'm going to just take off 4 pieces and I'm averaging the size of my tower, so I want them to be that size. So this is pretty much, as I said, this is a paratha dough. So it's the paratha recipe, which I already have on my channel, so I will link it in the description. But what I'm making here is pretty much what I have anyway, so you'll see how to make the paratha. But if you want more of a detailed recipe, I have it on my channel. So right now I have the filling for the paratha that I usually use. I use butter and a little bit of vegetable oil, and I just flatten this out. Just roll it out a little. So we're just going to take the brush and we're just going to brush some of that mixture in there onto the dough. Once it's brushed on there, I'm going to cut a slit halfway through, and then I'm going to sprinkle a little flour, and then I'm going to roll this up into a cone shape. Once this is rolled up, I'm going to tuck it in, make sure everything is tucked in, push down the top, and that will be one bus up shot dough loya. Some people call it loya, loy, dough balls, whatever your name is for it. So that's one of them. So I'm making 2 pepper rotis, so I need 4 of these paratha. Roll it again, roll it out, put then the filling on there. Put some flour. Roll around. There you have it. That's how you make a paratha roti. That's one of the steps. So now it's for the fun part. Now it's time to cook the roti. So I have one of the dough ball here. I'm going to roll it out. So we need 2 for each roti, because we're going to use one and cover it, the other one, cover it over the other one. So we're going to need 2 doughs. So I'm going to roll out 2. So once it's all rolled out, I'm going to start adding the filling and just spreading it out. I tried using this big spatula, but it's harder to use, so I ended up using a spoon, which works so much better. So I'm just going to take the spoon and spread it on there. You don't want to put too much because you don't want the roti to burst. So you just want to put enough and spread it out. Now don't let it go too much to the edge because you have to join. When you put that other piece over, it has to join, and as you can see there, so you don't want it to like have problems sticking. So we're just going to seal it. Oh, I forgot to put the cheese. I have to add the cheese, so I'm going to put some shredded cheese on there. And then I'm going to cover it. So once that's all covered over, you're going to just seal them really well. So I'm just using my fingers and just patting it down really tight. Just making sure that it is nice and sealed, because you don't want this opening up on you. So just press and press and press and double press. Make sure that it's all sealed and ready. So I have my tower ready. It's nice and hot. I put some vegetable oil on there, and then I'm going to place my roti. Now I have this on medium heat because you want this to cook slowly. You don't want it to cook too fast. So I have it on medium heat, and I'm just going to put some more oil at the top, just like I do with, you know, bus-up shot. I put oil on both sides. So you're going to put the oil, and you're going to just let this cook. Now I left this for about 5 minutes on each side, so I'm going to put it for 5 minutes on this side, and then I'm going to flip it over. You want to take that and kind of press it down, because that will help with, you know, if there's any part of it that's not sealed properly. So once that side is cooked, after 5 minutes, I'm going to flip it. So I flipped it, and I'm putting a little more oil. Yeah, I added a little more oil on this side because I think I want to flip it one more time, but just be careful how you're flipping it. You don't want it to, you know, break or anything, but I feel like I want it to be a little browner. So I'm going to do like an additional 2 minutes on this side, but that's also optional. This is already cooked on that side, but I want it to be a little browner. So once I'm done cooking it, it probably took me like 12 minutes because as I said, I flipped it again for an additional 2 minutes for this side just to get it a little browner. So it cooked for about 12 minutes, but always remember, keep it on a low medium heat. So this is the color that I really wanted. So I'm going to just cut this up and it will be ready to be eaten. I'm just gonna transfer it to a platter and continue on making my next roti. So this is my finished roti. It is so soft. First of all, it smells so good, and it is very flaky, and it has like all these layers, and when I open it up, it's just nice and just so beautiful on the inside. So you see the back there, it's like really flaky. It just reminds me so much of, you know, just I mean, it is a bus-up shut dough, so of course it will have that flaky layer. It's because of that dough. So this is really good. It tastes really good. I feel like this is like one of the tastiest roti I've ever made, and I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, and share this video, And if you try it, let me know how it came out. Bye.